Good morning, everyone. Today's popular guest speaker is well known to our club and the nation as an expert on Avast and many other diverse topics. He is known as an Avast evangelist. If you are not careful, this Billy Graham of Avast and Security will convert you into a lifetime follower. He is my friend and my go-to person whenever I have questions, and he answers them like he gives his presentations, the unvarnished, no BS truth. So without further delay, it gives me great pleasure to present to you my good friend and our club's longtime supporter, live from Las Lunas, New Mexico, Bob Gastisha.
Good morning. Nice to see everyone in the audience. Up on the screen, or by you up on the wall, you should now see a little outline of what we'll be covering today. This presentation is entitled All About Avast. If you're using it, this is a good opportunity to ask all kinds of questions because we end this thing working on Avast. So if you have a question, that's what you can ask, and hopefully I can give you a correct answer. We're going to start this thing off with some videos, starting with a clean install of Avast. And as you see on the outline, after the clean install, then we'll have some of the features that are part of Avast. After each video, if you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it. If not, we'll just go on to the next one. And at the end, we will end it with actual questions, because we'll have an open Avast on the screen. Any questions you may have, I'll be able to answer them directly within Avast, and then we'll end it with questions on anything else you may want to ask. Without further ado, let me get out of this thing and get into the first, which is a clean install of Avast. This morning, we're going to do a clean install of the latest version of Avast, which was just announced. Start the process by going to either Programs and Features or Apps and Features. Once that opens, select Avast and then select Uninstall. Once that process is completed, select Restart Computer. Once the system is finished rebooting, it's now time to run the Avast cleanup tool, which is called Avast Clear. Run it and allow it to reboot your system into safe mode. Once that process is completed, select Restart the Computer to go back into regular mode. You can find all of these instructions carefully laid out in the following link. And this is what those instructions look like. Now it's time to do the actual install of the latest version of Avast. As always, I'd like to see what's being installed and like to be able to change what I may not want installed. So I select the Customize option, not the default. Click on Customize. At this point, you can now choose what you want to install and what you may not want to install. If you're a gamer, Do Not Disturb mode is what will help keep any kind of notifications away while you're playing your game. Cleanup. This is a tool that needs to be paid for, so unless you're willing to pay for the cleanup tool, uncheck this box. I use Avast's Passwords Manager. It does an excellent job of keeping my passwords safe. SecureLine VPN is another paid product. It is worth the price, so therefore I will be installing it. I already have a license for it. If you don't intend to install it, uncheck this box. Safe Price Browser Extension will offer you a better price on some of the products you may be shopping for. And this is up to you whether you decide to use it or not. For my purposes, it will be unchecked. Security Browser Extension. When you do a search, make sure that you actually get to a valid site. A great little tool. It will let you know through a check mark that the site is safe and that the site may not be safe. Wi-Fi inspects your home network to make sure that you're connecting to something safe, and it will let you know anytime there are vulnerabilities. Rescue disk. This is something you should run right after you finish the installation. If for some reason your system refuses to boot, this will make sure that you have a tool to be able to boot your system without the operating system actually working. Browser cleanup will make sure that you have no untrustworthy or malicious add-ons in your browser. Software updater. This makes sure that many of the programs that are on your computer stay up to date. An up-to-date program is also a safe program. Mail Shield, especially useful if you're using Outlook, any of the other mail servers. It can also help with keeping down phishing attacks. Web Shield, this is probably one of the most important shields that Avast offers. It makes sure that everything you do online is safe and secure. Checks the behavior of running programs. If it looks like and smells like a virus, this will get blocked. Sometimes there aren't yet signatures available that tell your antivirus program whether or not a program is safe or not. This doesn't need a signature. As I said, if it looks and smells like a virus or an infection, malware, it will automatically be blocked and then determined afterwards whether it is safe or is not safe. File Shield, this checks all of your files that are on your system. It also checks anything new that's going to be added to your system. Since I'm not a gamer, this will be unchecked for me. Now we're ready to hit the install button. The installation has now completed. Read and agree to the ULE information and then hit continue. If you have a smartphone, it also needs to be protected. Mine already is, so therefore I'll be skipping this. Avast has a rewards program. If you're interested, check it out. Some things in here may be new for you. The menu allows you to get to your settings, your licenses, and if you should need help, you'll find lots of it here. Settings, all your general settings, components. These are the parts that are installed that keep you safe. You'll also notice I selected not to install some of these items. If you change your mind afterwards, this would be the place where you can install it without having to go back to the whole installation program all over again. If you find that you've installed something and you don't want it after the installation, going into components, selecting that particular component, from here you can uninstall the component. Under the protection module, all the different things, all the core shields that protect you, the scans that are available, what you may have in your virus chest. The virus chest, by the way, is a safe place. Once something's been caught, it can't harm you anymore. Wi-Fi inspector, you should run this on a regular basis. It checks your Wi-Fi network to make sure it's secure. It checks all connections going through your home network. Those items that you see with a lock on them are paid products. If you want any of these added protections, realize that they are not free. You do have to pay for them. If you want to stay strictly with the free product, these are items that you don't have in the free model. Under privacy, Avast offers an excellent free password manager. Yes, they also offer a paid password manager, and it's locked. Therefore, it means it's a paid product. SecureLine, as I said, I've paid for the license. This is a paid product. So are the other items. Under the performance, this is something I did not install because I'm not a gamer, but if you are, this is something you may want to be using. Only drawback to that is that it doesn't interrupt you regardless of the reason. Sometimes you may want to be interrupted. Last but not least, if you want a paid version, hit the upgrade button. That's a quick look at the latest release from Avast. At this point, if you have questions on that video we just watched, now's the time to ask.
Wire program was provided with the new Avast.
Avast for a long time already doesn't only do viruses, Trojans, and rootkits. It's been screening for malware for a very long time, and it constantly keeps getting better and better at it. I personally don't even bother with running Malwarebytes because there isn't anything that it's caught for me that wasn't already caught by Avast. Remember, your antivirus program isn't just something to stop viruses. That's changed a long time ago.
You answered my question.
Thank you.
How long does it take to install?
I'd say about 10 minutes.
How much for the paid version?
Go online and take a look. I've never run a paid version. I'm perfectly happy with the paid free version, and then I use other free products to enhance. One of the main things that's part of the paid version is the firewall. Well, if you're running Windows 7 through 10, you already have a firewall. Why do you have to pay extra for it? The firewall in Windows happens to be an excellent product. Like Barry said, I don't hold punches. I love their free product. And that's what I'm willing to sell you. Send me your credit card. I'd be happy to send it to you once I've charged you for it. But that's all I sell is the free version. Are we ready for the next video?
No, one moment.
Okay.
Come over here, please.
Barry, can you pass along a mic to them? Does that should make it easier.
There you go. Just have a seat so you can see.
Does Avast run on Chrome?
It runs on the Android operating system, not the Chrome operating system. So it'll run on your Android device. So if you have a tablet and you have your smartphone, it'll run on that, but not if you have a Chromebook. You actually don't need anything on your Chromebook. You're welcome.
What about iPhone?
You have Apple that protects you. Anyone that's running an iOS device, there is no third-party antivirus protection. Apple is the one that will update once they've discovered something. Doesn't matter whether it's a virus or any other kind of problem, you wind up with a patch, and that's how you stay safe on your iOS devices.
Okay, any other questions before we move on to the next segment? Okay, onward.
One of the included components in all versions of Avast Antivirus is its software updater component. It makes sure that your most used programs are always kept up to date. To get to that function, open the Avast user interface, go to Protection, and then Software Updater. And as you notice, mine is telling me that I have 2 programs that need to be updated. Since I use the free version of Avast, I don't have automatic updates. If you had the paid version, then of course, you could set this to automatically do the updates for you. Since I'm using the free version, I have to manually update the 2 items that it told me were outdated. Let's do that right now. It will now download the latest versions and install those versions on my system. It takes a little while, but it sure makes it nice and convenient to make sure that your most used programs are kept up to date. It's just that simple to keep your software up to date, even in the free version of Avast. Stay safe, be free. I hope this helps. Any questions on that little video? If not, we'll go on to the next one. Let's take a look at one of the features in Avast Antivirus. And this is available even in the free version of Avast. One of the things it offers is to make sure that your home network is secure. We do that by going to the menu, then to the settings, and under settings we want to select components. Scroll down until you see the Wi-Fi inspector. Click on this down arrow, and this gives you a greater understanding of what the Wi-Fi inspector does. As it says, everything attached to your router is part of your home network. Making sure that it is secure is the first step in making sure that your network is safe and secure. Now let's run the Wi-Fi inspector and actually test the network. Go into Protection, click on Wi-Fi inspector. It gives you 2 choices. If you're at home, you will choose the home scan, which checks your home network. That's supposed to be safe. This is the place where you can do your banking and your shopping in relative safety. It can also use this to check on a public or open network to see just what vulnerabilities exist on that network. For right now, let's check on the home network. And as I said before, this will test everything that is connected to my home network. Yes, there are quite a few items there. It'll take a while for this to finish, but once it's done, it'll let me know if there are any vulnerabilities, and if it finds any, it should also tell me how to fix those vulnerabilities. It's always nice when it comes back to tell you your home network is safe and secure. I'm going to stop this right in the middle and let you look at those devices. You'll notice it's checking everything that's connected, whether it goes through Wi-Fi or whether it's physically connected to the router. That includes some things like my Amazon Echo, my Google Smart Device, my printer. Everything and anything that goes through your network is part of that scan. Said if there had been something, it would actually let me know what it's found, and it will tell me how to fix what it has found. Just one more feature within Avast that makes sure you are safe. I run this thing on a probably weekly basis, because anytime I add something new, or there may have been some changes that happened, this is one way to make sure that the front door to my total security, which is the router, anything that goes through that is actually safe and secure and something that I can depend on keeping me safe when I do my banking and my shopping.
Bob?
Yep.
You also have a list view there, right? If they don't want to see the icons or the diagram view, I noticed that they...
That's correct. That's correct. You have a choice between, mine had the icons on, but there's also a list view, and all it will simply give you is just a list of the devices. So you won't have the graphics that you're seeing there. Does somebody have a question on this, or do we go on to the next one?
Oh, he said he has Comcast and he has the gateway set up, the combination router modem.
That's exactly what I have on my system. So if it
goes to the TV and his phone, is this going to check all of the things in that router?
That's correct. That's correct. The next one is on a paid product, the Avast SecureLine. And the reason I'm going to play this, even if you don't install this and you decide you're going to get somebody else's VPN, or you're going to get a free VPN, this gives you an idea of what a VPN actually does.
What's the cost on that, Bob?
Avast just announced the brand new release of the beta version of Avast SecureLine, which is their VPN for the Windows platform. As you can see here, this is a beta. You'll also notice the download link and a free activation to use this product totally free of charge for 30 days. A great way to test out their brand new standalone VPN. Let's go through it. This is what the user interface looks like once the product's been installed. They also have some brand new system tray icons. This is what it looks like when it's turned off. This is what it looks like when the VPN is running and keeping you safe. When you right-click on the system tray icon, from here you can open up the user interface. If you're connected, you'll be able to disconnect. Of course, if you're disconnected, you'll be able to connect to the VPN. Getting started gives you a bit of information about what the VPN actually is. A VPN is designed to keep you safe when you're on public Wi-Fi. It encrypts your internet connections to stop anyone from reading your email and tracking the sites you visit. It will disguise your location. In my case, right now, since it's not turned on, you can see where I actually live. Once I turn this on, what you get to see is the location that I happen to pick, not my home location. You can stream your video from anywhere, depending on what location you choose. You're hiding behind a tunnel that makes you appear to be someplace where you are not. Just switch it on and go. Your entire internet connection will be encrypted, and no one, not even Avast, will be able to see what you're doing online. That's why you should always be using a VPN. It keeps you safe. This is what the user interface looks like. As you can tell from here, it tells you what your real location is, which is hidden. It also lets you know the location you chose to connect to, which is what appears to the rest of the world. When you click on the menu, it shows a sub-menu from which you can choose several things, like looking at the license, general settings. On About, you get to see the version number and some of the other information about the product. When you click on the license, it actually opens up the subscription portion of the settings, where it will display your license information. If you've bought the product, it'll have your real license in it. If you're using the trial version, it'll have that 30-day trial license. Under the general settings, you show SecureLine notifications, which lets you know whenever your privacy is protected, and you'll get an alert when it's turned off and your privacy is not being protected. You can also select whether you want this to start automatically when the computer starts, and in addition to that, you can select to have the VPN start automatically as soon as you start your computer. That way, as soon as you go online, you know you're fully protected. Everything is fully encrypted. Under network security, this is where you select if you're connected to open Wi-Fi, an unsecured network, whether you want this to automatically turn on or whether you want to be asked before it is turned on. That's just a quick little look at the newest release from Avast of Avast SecureLine. Remember, this is a standalone product. You don't have to be using Avast in order to use SecureLine, their VPN product. Barry, that should answer your question.
Yeah.
Okay. Up to 5 devices. How many you use is up to you, but that's what it costs a year, $80 a year for up to 5 devices. And whether that's your computer or that's your tablet or it's your smartphone, makes no difference. Up to 5 devices for $80. For me, this is another free product. It's Avast's fault that I have to spend so much time away from home, so they pay for my license.
Does that include Chromebook, Bob?
Say that.
Does that include a Chromebook?
Yeah, because wait a minute. Chromebook. I have to check on that for you. Again, Chromebook, I don't know because it's the Chrome operating system, but I will find out and let you know. It does definitely work on your Android devices, but the Chrome operating system is totally different from the Android operating system. Any questions on it? Okay, we'll go on to number 5. The Smart Scan in Avast 2019 has gotten smarter, faster, and more user-friendly. Let me run it, and then I'll explain why I make those statements. At this point, you can see that it is running a scan of your network to make sure it is safe. It's also now started checking for viruses. Color changed from blue to green to let me know that there are no network threats. That also tells you it's more user-friendly. Virus scan is completed. Again, it's green, so nothing was found. Now it's looking at the browser add-ons and looking for vulnerable software. It didn't find any, so the color is green. Browser add-ons are also clean. It's now making sure that sensitive data is safe. Sensitive data shows red, meaning it needs some work. It could also mean I'm not using the sensitive data module, and that's because I'm using the free version and it's not part of the free product. And as you can see from the recap, the only thing where it had any qualms are in my sensitive documents. And as I said, I'm using the free version. That's not part of what's covered, but it's gotten faster from the older version. It lets you know before it actually completes the entire scan, which parts are safe, which parts need attention. All around, a great improvement. I intentionally did not speed up that video for one simple reason. This is a scan that used to take 10 minutes or better to complete. This one completed in under 6 minutes. So it's gotten a lot faster. It checks an awful lot of the things on your system that need to be kept safe. The one item on mine that came out as needing attention, I take it for exactly what it is. A cheap way for Avast to try to get me to purchase that particular module. Sorry, don't need it. Again, I don't pull punches. I've often told you folks that Avast is not a not-for-profit corporation. So yes, on occasion, you will have little things like that, which I don't like, but there isn't much I can do about it. You on occasion will also see a pop-up asking you to purchase the paid version if you're using the free one. I, after all these years, really don't ever see those pop-ups. I must be blind to them because I still am very happy with the free version. Any questions on that last video that we saw? This is Avast. Plain and simple. This is the user interface. And I want to make one change because my background, which you've been looking at, which is the outline of today's presentation, actually interferes with, yeah, that was a couple of days ago, a sunset back home. That gives you a better look at it. I could show you lots of pretty pictures, but that's not today's presentation. This is your Avast user interface. I don't know how many people in here are using Avast, but if you are, what questions do you have about Avast? What is it you like? What is it you don't like? What do you need help with?
Everybody that uses Avast, please clap. Okay, there you go.
Do you have any questions on any part of Avast or anything that you don't understand?
One moment, we have a question. Right. Talk right here.
Bob, I have a J7 phone, a Samsung, and today I took a look at all the Avast. Today I took a look at on the Samsung J7. Today I took a look at all the Avast and AVG programs. There was about a dozen of them. Some of them are 2018, so I assume those are the latest. Is there one program that will download the whole set of current things for my phone?
What do you mean current set? There's a difference between the Avast version for your computer and the one that goes on your smart device. Totally.
On my smartphone, I found Avast Mobile Security, Avast Cleanup and Boom.
That's for your, the Secure Me is a product, not an antivirus product. It's a product designed to help you if you have an iOS device.
Oh, that's for iOS. Okay, well, yeah, except it showed up on my Android. This morning, I found it in the Android stuff.
There are products directly for the Android device, and that's an antivirus and a whole lot of other things.
Would it be possible for you, when you update this, to send a list of what free?
Yeah, if you go to the Avast site, it gives you a list of all their products, and it also tells you which ones are free and which ones are paid.
And you think that are they all useful? I mean, I found things like Avast Workshop, tablet antivirus free, AVG VPN, if you explain, Avast Favor, Avast Password, Cleanup and Boost. You know, so there's quite a few there, and it's confusing if we begin as to which one we should start with. I don't know that it unloaded. Like this program that you demonstrated, the whole program comes to you, and pretty much the whole free program. But it doesn't seem to be the same on the mobile program.
Yeah, the mobile program has basically the same thing. It has free a free portion, and it has modules that are to be paid for. Again, you have to choose whether you want, and there's also a big difference in price between the one for your computer, whether it's a Windows or a Mac computer, and the iOS device. I'm sorry, or the Android device. I know that the paid version for the Android device is $9.95 a year. It's a whole lot cheaper than what you get when you have the one on your computer.
Mark has some questions, I'm sure. Anybody? I mean, do you understand what a VPN is? Anybody explain? Does anybody need to have that explained again, what a VPN is? Raise your hand. Okay, let's go into that explanation. They probably heard of the one the military uses, but I mean, I'm not being perverse or anything, but it's called hide my ass.
That's correct. That's exactly what it is. VPN encrypts everything on your system, and it doesn't get unencrypted until just before it gets to its destination. So if someone is on that open network and intercepts the information, what they receive is fully encrypted. They don't have a key, and there's no way they can get that information. It's one way that even on open Wi-Fi, you can do your banking and shopping and still be safe. It's what I use to protect myself when I'm out on the road, depending on the hotel Wi-Fi, which we know isn't safe, but I am, because everything I do is fully encrypted.
And also, right, does everyone understand that? That you can set the address, even in Europe, where you want to be.
Yeah, well, that's hiding your IP address, so that
right.
when I am out on tour, if I need to get to my bank, I pick a location where I told them I was going to be during my trip. That makes it safe. If I don't do that and I pick something away from home, you will have a heck of a problem trying to get to your bank's location, because they expect you to be in a certain place. So if you've picked an IP address that's away from home, the bank is going to rebel. I pick a location that's part of my travel itinerary, and then the bank doesn't rebel, okay? But it does not know where you are, because your actual IP address is totally hidden. You are actually where you choose to be. Great thing to use if there's a movie playing in Great Britain, but you need to be in Great Britain in order to view it. So pick London as your home base, and you can now watch that movie. Here in the US, you're restricted.
So it doesn't block certain things like Netflix?
There are certain programs that have started to put blockers on a VPN. They know what the IP addresses are. Some are blocked, some are not. It depends on how sophisticated they've gotten on their sites.
Okay, Bill Scheidemann has another question for you.
Yes, Bill.
On the VPN, I don't bank online, I don't shop online. Do I need a VPN?
Do you go to places that require your password?
99% of the time, not.
Okay, for the times that you do, where your password is required, if you're not on a secure network, that password can be intercepted because it's not encrypted. It's just plain text. There it is. And if somebody is on that network intercepting the information, your password is now somebody else's information.
Okay, question
Okay.
answered.
Okay.
Now, if you don't ever do that, then that's entirely up to you.
Okay. Does everybody understand what the concept is now of VPN? How many people go to Starbucks? if you go to Starbucks, are you aware that that is an unsecured network completely, and that people can see what you're doing at the next table if they have the right software, right, Bob?
That's correct.
And with the VPN, you're hidden. So if they try to come back and trace your address, it's like if we do on our website. Our website is secured. It's HTTPS. So when they come back and try to trace where the Deerfield Beach Computer Club is, it's not showing it's in Florida. It's showing wherever the server is located for the company, right?
Here and on a VPN, you actually pick your location.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let's do it exactly that way.
Right. Show them how they can obscure the location. Yeah, I have SecureLine.
Okay. Currently, my VPN is off. My default location that I pick when I turn on the VPN is Phoenix, Arizona. However, if I click on change location, you can see there are a couple of locations available. These are all the different countries. In any place where you see a check mark, there are more than just one. Canada has 2.
Mm-hmm.
Spain has 2. Germany has 2. You get down to the US, there are 16 different locations in the US you can change to whatever. You pick them. The ones marked with a P2 person to person, it just means that that location has a better signal than one that doesn't have it.
So you're saying you can hide your ass around the world?
That's basically what you can do. Yes, pick it any place, but don't pick a place away from home when you go to your bank site because it will rebel. It's saying somebody has gotten hold of somebody else's information and they're now trying to get to your bank information, and your bank will rebel. It'll come back and says, we're sorry, but we need all kinds of information before we allow you to get to your bank site because you aren't where you should be.
Okay. Mel has another question. Hang on. He's saying if you set your VPN to London, UK, can you watch programs that were broadcast over the BBC that you would not automatically see without the VPN?
I haven't personally done it, but yes, you should be able to because your IP address is in London.
So it's like Tor, isn't it?
That's correct.
So that if somebody wanted to, not that we condone it, but you could download something illegally and be obscured completely, right?
There are many, many hackers that use VPNs. They don't use one VPN. They may use 10 VPNs. Yes, it'll be slow for them, but if somebody tries to track them, they are going to get bounced all over the world, and they'll never be able to find them.
So law enforcement could not find somebody who was using.
They'll have a heck of a time trying to.
Question is, if you have Opera VPN, do you need to install this one?
Opera is strictly within the browser. It won't protect you for anything that's done outside of the browser.
Right, so the browsers that you use, Safari, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Vivaldi, which is another browser, and what's the one you just mentioned?
Well, the only one that has built-in VPN is Opera. You also need to realize that Opera is now owned by a Chinese consortium. So, you know, you have to also consider it used to be in Europe, but it's now controlled by China.
Yes.
The VPN, yes, you can.
Can you hear that, Bob?
Yes. If you have an Apple, yes, you can use Avast VPN. It's available for Apple.
I'm showing her, I have it on mine. I think you gave me that license or something.
Yes.
I have that until December, but I can show it. See, it's connected and I can change the name of the city at will. But if I'm here in this classroom, we have unsecured public Wi-Fi. If you look at what the list of the wireless networks is, you'll see one for Tilford, which is just up the road. They can move in if they wanted to with the right equipment. Not that they would know how to anyway. Probably not. But the question is, why put yourself into that, position? And the Avast gives you what, 30 days, you said?
Yeah, there's a 30-day trial. If you go to that link that was posted in that video, they still have that public trial going on. And that gives you 30 days to look at it. On a regular basis, I think you have 7 days that you can try it. But there you have to give your credit card information, and then you can cancel it within the 7 days.
Okay.
And the beta is different. You don't give anything. If you like it at the end of the 30 days, you can go ahead and buy it, but you don't give any credit card information. So,
Okay. Is Avast physically geographically in Czechoslovakia or Romania?
Avast is the home office is in the Czech Republic in Prague, but we have offices down in Florida. We have offices in California, in North Carolina, in London, in France, in Germany, in South America, in China, in Japan, in Russia. Avast is not the little company anymore that it used to be way back when. I've been with and have used their product since 2003. Back then, their total staff was less than 100 people. They now have close to 1,000 people worldwide employed by Avast. They have grown.
What is the estimated number of users in the world? Just an estimate.
In excess of 400 million users worldwide.
So somebody knows what they're doing, right? 400 million people can't be wrong. So I hope. Yeah.
Well, if they are, I'm one of those, so.
Okay.
Any questions? Any questions on Avast? If not, we can change to a different topic. Any questions on anything else?
Let's
Windows, whatever.
Okay, let's move on because we're within 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, we are already at the hour mark. Any other questions? If not, thank you for having me. I will get busy on getting that video uploaded. Barry, what you're going to get is a link to my YouTube channel where that video will be hosted. If you're using the Avast Secure browser, just simply go there and hit the download button, and then you can do with it whatever you please. If not, use some other YouTube downloader to download it. Or just give the link to my YouTube channel. For those of you that need help with Avast and many, many other things, go to my YouTube channels. I have many, many tutorials on all kinds of subjects.
That's right. And you're on your blog. You have a blog too, right?
Yes, I do.
Bob 3160, right?
Yep.
And you have what else? You have a Google Plus.
I have Google Plus, websites, all kinds of things. The Avast Support Forum. I've been there since 2004.
And we have an older handout posted that explained everything about Avast. Is that still valid?
That is still valid. If you're trying to install it, you need to totally first get rid of whatever you now have before you can put Avast on there. And that old link, Barry, is where they can get all of that information.
Okay, so look under our handouts page and you'll see the Avast link is still valid for this particular application. What about CCleaner? Is that, none of those features are in Avast, correct? This is a separate product altogether.
Yes, that's correct. Avast owns Piriform, and CCleaner is one of their products. So are quite a few others, but they are totally separate products.
Okay. I want to thank you, as usual, for your informative and entertaining presentation. I'm proud to call you my friend and my mentor. I don't mind expressing that. And you've helped me a lot over the years and helped this club. And we look forward to seeing you next year live here, not as a hologram. Probably be, what is it, January 19th, something like that?
I believe so, yes. And that'll be a new presentation. So this one was special, and it was entitled All About Avast, and that's what we covered, was things related to Avast. The next one will be general security, protecting your digital life.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
A big hand.
I'm going to end the meeting. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye. See you in January.
Bye-bye. We're going to leave the meeting now.